Good morning. Welcome to your Wednesday morning, early morning intuitive guidance. I'm Dr. Bonnie Nussbaum, America's kick-ass coach and psychologist with a dry throat. Here to bring you some words to get you thinking about some things. And one of the things I've been thinking about lately that led to what I'm going to share with you today is the idea, hearing people say, well, I'm too old to do that, or, that needs someone younger working on that, or basically writing off opportunities to grab an idea and run with it. Good morning. Welcome to whoever. Carolyn, glad you're here. Welcome, welcome. Looks like, Cindy's here, waving at you. We unwittingly and wittingly self-limit based on things like age, gender, location where we live, resources we have. If I had $1 for every time someone said, I don't have enough money to do that, I'd be rich. So I want to read this chapter, and my goal is, as Mary Kay Ash would say, to take the girdles off your brain, that if an idea is meant to be yours, it's yours, and you need to take ownership of that idea. Good morning, Cindy. Welcome. And tend to it. We've got the Cindy Brigade here this morning. That's awesome. And if you don't tend to that idea, what you're meant to be doing consciously, sometimes that idea will move on to find someone else who's going to tend to it better. So let's read the part, and I'll go from there. Hopefully I'm not going to cough. A little bit of allergy stuff going on, I think. So, what we are going to read is a chapter from Elizabeth Gilbert's Big Magic. Creative living beyond fear and creative living beyond self-imposed limitations. I'm too old, I'm too this, I'm not enough of that, I don't have enough money, blah, 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 blah. Okay? We're moving past all of that. So the chapter's called Ownership. For those of you who have the book, it's page 58. So I'm going to read the chapter and then we'll see where it takes us. I believe that inspiration will always try its best to work with you. But if you are not ready or available, it may indeed choose to leave you and search for a different human collaborator. This happens to people a lot, actually. This is how it comes to pass that one morning you open up the newspaper and discover that somebody else has written your book or directed your play or released your record or produced your movie or founded your business or invented, inventions. I've seen that happen with inventions, or launched your restaurant or patented your inventions, or in any way whatsoever manifested some spark of inspiration that you had years ago but never fully cultivated, or that had never gotten around to finishing. This may vex you, but it really shouldn't, because you didn't deliver. You didn't show up ready enough or fast enough or openly enough for the idea to take hold within you and complete itself. Therefore, the idea went hunting for a new partner and somebody else got to make the thing. Good morning, Gwen. Glad you're here. In the years since I published Eat, Pray, Love, I cannot tell you, it is literally beyond my ability to count, how many people have accused me in anger of having written their book. Good morning, Cheryl. Welcome. That book was supposed to be mine, they growled, glaring down at me in the signing line at some book event in Houston or Toronto or Dublin or Melbourne. I was definitely planning to write that book someday. You wrote my life. But what can I say? What do I know about that stranger's life? From my perspective, I found an unattended idea lying around and I ran away with it. While it is true that I got lucky with Eat, Pray, Love, without a doubt I got exceedingly lucky, it is also true that I worked on that book like a maniac. I spun myself like a dervish around that idea. Once it entered my consciousness, I did not let it out of my sight for a moment, not until the book was good and finished. So I got to keep that one. But I've lost a good number of ideas over the years too, or rather, I lost ideas that I mistakenly thought were to be mine. Other people got to write books that I dearly longed to write. Other people made projects that might have been mine. Here's one. In 2006, I toyed for a while with the idea of writing a sprawling nonfiction history of Newark, New Jersey, and to call it Brick City. My notional idea was to follow around Newark's charismatic new mayor, Cory Booker, and to write about his efforts to transform this fascinating yet troubled town. A cool idea, but I didn't get around to it. To be honest, it seemed like a lot of work, and I had another book already brewing, so I never quite got revved up enough juice to take it on. Then, in 2009, the Sundance Channel produced and aired a sprawling documentary about the troubled history of Newark, New Jersey, and about Cory Booker's efforts to turn the town around. Good morning, Mel. Glad you're here. The show was called Brick City. My reaction upon hearing this was one of sheer relief. Hooray! I don't have to tackle Newark. Someone else took on the assignment. Here's another one. In 1996, I met a guy who was a good friend of Ozzy Osbourne's. He told me that the Osbourne family were the strangest, funniest, wildest, and most oddly loving people he had ever met. He said, "You've got to write something about them. You should just hang out with them and watch the way they interact. I don't know exactly what you should do about them, but somebody has to do a project around the Osbournes because they're too fantastic to believe." I was intrigued. But again, I never got around to it, and somebody else ended up taking on the Osbournes to noteworthy effect. There are so many ideas that I never got around to, and often they became someone else's projects. Other people told stories that were intimately familiar to me, stories that had once been called to my attention, or seemed to come from my own life, or could have been generated by my imagination. Sometimes I haven't been so nonchalant about losing those ideas to other creators. Sometimes it's been painful. Sometimes I've had to watch as other people enjoyed successes and victories that I once desired for myself. Them's the breaks, though, and them's also the beautiful memories, or beautiful mysteries. So, what I'd like for you all to take away from this chapter, myself included, is that idea of ownership. When there's an idea rolling around in your head, and I'm just going to make stuff up here, I could sell my house and move to blah blah. I could open a business that does blah blah. I could call so-and-so and see if we could collaborate on this effort. Whatever it is, we all have those ideas. Good morning, Judy. Welcome, welcome. We all have those ideas, and far too often we let them languish. We don't attend to them. We don't feed, nurture, and care for our brilliant ideas. And when we don't, again, those ideas, kind of like sentient beings, move on to someone else who's going to actually do the work. So I'd like you to be thinking about, what do you have laying around your house that's half finished? What do you have that you've conceived of doing but never really got around to making it happen? Pick one of those up. Finish something you've started, all right? It could be the cross stitch that's sitting in the corner. It could be some other kind of an art project. It could be writing a book. It could be calling someone to go to lunch. Yeah, I've been thinking about Jane for 6 weeks now. Need to call her. Do it today. As Mary Kay Ash also said, join the Din Din Club. Do it now, do it now. I'm one of those that, because I don't always count on my memory to be the best, if someone asks me to do something and I agree to do it, I'm probably going to do it right here, right now, because otherwise it's going to disappear into the muck and mire, right? So what have you started that you haven't finished? Dig it out and finish it up, all right? Because then you're signaling the universe, I'm ready for a new idea. I'm ready for something else to come my way. I want to open myself up. And if you're not going to finish it, pass it on to someone who will. So I know my sisters, I think, have exchanged cross stitches that one of them gave up on and the other one finished it up. So what about for you? What can you get finished up that's just kind of languishing there? What's an idea that's been politely knocking at the door of your mind and you haven't opened the door yet? Let's get the door open. Let's see what's there. Let's finish up a bunch of stuff we've already started. Let's open ourselves up to new ideas. Let's grab those ideas and run with them. Like she said, wrapped herself around it like a whirling dervish. She was invested in that idea, and she certainly brought it to fruition in an amazing way, right? So that's the big magic for today. Creative living beyond fear. How do we finish things up that we've started? How do we invest our time and energy into things that we really want to see happen? How do we make a commitment to those ideas and bring them forward a step at a time? You don't have to do the whole thing at once. You may have no idea how you're going to do it. Me with intentional community, I had no idea how that was going to come to light, and things just started unfolding. Front page article, call the women up, go to lunch. Next week I'm meeting with the developer. Taking a step, just taking a step. Even if it doesn't seem to make any sense, or it seems like it's such a little step, doesn't matter. Move something forward. Good morning, Joe, welcome. Move something forward, because then you're signaling the universe, I'm ready. I'm ready. All right? So have fun with this idea. Run with it. Put some comments in the feed. I'd be happy to chat back and forth with you. Happy to provide support. Be the cheerleader to hold big space for those ideas. Let's see what we can create here on Earth. Have an awesome day. See you again tomorrow. Remember, you are capable of far more than you think you are. Bye-bye.